Today is a bit of a bittersweet day. It was around this time, about 4 years ago, I took this very bike for a bike ride along my favorite route around my hometown city of Kalamazoo. I made that bike ride into my very first YouTube video. Since then, I've loaded it up to go bike packing with my cousin all the way from Kalamazoo to Mackinac, a 300-mile trip. And it was still in great condition last spring when I took it for a failed bike packing trip. And while I recorded it, I never released it. I've also used it to cycle the Calhaven Trail all the way to South Haven and Lake Michigan, and numerous bike rides besides. Sharing that route and that experience was my very first YouTube video. Today, we're recreating that route and the path I took for that very first video for the last ride of this bike. It's been an absolute workhorse these past 4 years. It's well overdue for retirement at this point. But before we do though, we're gonna take it for one last ride along the very same route that we took it on for that very first YouTube video. I think it'll be a quite fitting end to the story of this bike. A story which I've never really told up till now. And we're gonna send this bike off with all of the honor that it has earned over these last few years. My dad bought this bike in the early 1990s in Pontiac, Michigan. He met my mom around the same time, started a family, and brought this bike along the way, moving a couple different times from place to place. By the way, what a beautiful day for a bike ride. And yes, the original route included walking up these stairs, and you got to carry your bike up the whole way. It's a lot of fun. The view is worth it though once you get up to the top. Welcome to Heritage Hall. That is the best view in the city. So let's take a look at my dad's 1990-something Schwinn Traveler. It's about a decade older than even I am, and it's really starting to show. It's got some things going for it though. The paint details are still legible, and I've made some upgrades and repairs to it, including the rear rack and milk cart for summer farmers market runs. The brakes still work great and have a lot of material to them still, and the tires were replaced prior to my 2021 trip to Mackinac with a lot of tread still on them, and they're really fast road tires, but they don't offer a lot of grip on gravel. The powertrain might look a little bit worse for wear and is a little bit noisy, but it's in great condition and it shifts quite smoothly. Though I can't say what the powertrain even was, except for it has Shimano shifters, and I added a piece of duct tape for the chain stay to prevent a little rust. It's got a nice specialized saddle that's pretty comfy. The handlebars could use a new bar end and be rewrapped, but otherwise the brakes still work great and the headset's pretty stable. The big thing with this bike though is that it is a steel frame bike, and there are definitely spots where there's rust coming through the paint, and the rear chainstays are rather thin, so you can't really put a lot of weight back there for bike packing purposes. It's an old style headset too, so if anything breaks, it's going to be hard to find replacement parts. And even the phone mount is a little bit janky and tends to rotate around the handlebars in circles. So yeah, this bike might not seem like much at first glance. It's an old bike, but it's still really fast and in great condition, all things considered, and I just love it. I'm gonna miss it a ton, but I am excited to have a new bike and to have one that's more well suited for bike packing. This is more of a road bike, and I do a lot of gravel riding. And I think there's a lot of bikes that are like that. While they may not seem special to the casual observer, they're special to the people who own them. And this bike, while it might not seem very special anymore, it's special to me, and I'm gonna love it for as long as we have it around for. It's allowed me to explore my own hometown, travel Michigan, and go on some pretty cool adventures. And maybe most importantly, it's gotten me to love cycling, to love biking around town and exploring new things. And if you think about it, even if I am retiring it and I'm not gonna be using it as much, or maybe even ever again, it's gotten me to buy my next bike. And I love that bike just the same as I loved this bike. But hopefully my next bike, which will be a gravel bike, will be able to handle stuff like this a little bit better than this old roadie will be able to. Sometimes you just have to walk your bike. Getting it good and dirty for this last ride. It's inspired in me and allowed me to pursue passion for cycling, a passion that led me to work at a bike shop for a winter, putting together bikes, a passion that allows me to learn how to fix up these old bikes and to make them better through upgrades, a passion that will lead to bigger things in the future. So yeah, it's more than earned its retirement. It's well deserved, and we're not going to be getting rid of it either. Hopefully someone else will be able to ride it one day. Maybe my dad will end up riding it again while I ride my new bike. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope there's a bike in your life that maybe is a little bit beaten, a little bit battered, maybe a little bit rusty, but still works, and you ride it, you enjoy it, you love it, and maybe one day you'll get a new bike because that bike inspired you to get into cycling and continue your cycling journey. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching through to the end of the video. As a reward, enjoy this sneak peek of the bicycles that I got for Hannah and I. And while you're checking those out, be sure to check out my Redbubble and my Patreon. It means so much to me if you would support me through those means, but also be sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe so you don't miss those next few videos. Oh, and comment and tell me if you really enjoyed the video. I respond to everyone's comments, and if you had any questions, I'll be sure to answer those. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.